one of the things we're talking about is John chapter 4. The woman who has been married 4 times. Is it 4, 5? Is it 4, 5 times? And then she's with another guy right now. And first is, you know how quick the society tends to put you under. First, she was a woman. Then she's been married several times. And that was the first thing Jesus dealt with. Looking straight into the woman, she asked, where was your husband? And then she responded, which is a contemporary response whenever we're hit with a point of brokenness, that we try to hide it like it doesn't exist, and we bring out the fake face outside. And then she said, I don't have a husband. And then Jesus said, I mean, you're not lying. You've had this and this. And I said, how do you, as a person struggling with whatever brokenness, whatever it could be, whatever it is, how do you come out straight, unashamed, and not unashamed in the sense that not glorifying those weaknesses, but unashamed in the sense that I need help, and I need help is identifying that I have, like you said, the truth that can heal me. How do you come out to that, and how do you find that truth that really is healing?
I think, again, it's the openness, because what a lot of people don't know when they read this text is the cultural context of it. A woman could not divorce her husband back then. So this is not Jesus identifying her as some scandalous woman, but rather your status as a woman back then was you're either married and are bearing children, and that makes you proper, or you're not. And that's shameful if you're not, because your only identity back then was being a woman meant being married and having children. So he's pinpointing the fact that in this society your identity is shameful, right? Because again, she couldn't divorce her, like women had no grounds for divorcing their husbands. So she had been a divorcee or whatever. She had received that,
like the victim of the
4 or 5 times already. And even just to survive back then, the women couldn't have property, women couldn't, those things. So like to survive, she had to be associated with a man. Typically it would need to be her husband. So again, this is why she's going to the well in the middle of the day without anybody else, because the women used to go early. So the cultural context of this helps us understand that Jesus didn't sit there and identify her sin. He sat there and identified that the identity that everybody else was putting on her, that she was shameful and that she wasn't a complete woman or whatever, was incorrect, and that he had a different identity for her. He saw her as someone who could drink his living water. And that brokenness that had been placed upon her, and also all those things, Jesus is offering to heal, and he reveals himself as Jesus, right? The Messiah to her. So I think it has nothing to do with her brokenness. It's about his healing, and he's saying, like I said, when he identified that, he identified her shame in this cultural context and said, that is not what defines you, right? And I am offering you life that is defined by me and my living water that comes out of you, who I created you to be. And I think that's what's important when looking at those verses is Jesus doesn't identify her as this woman that's been divorced. That he's saying that's what I know about you, but that's not who you are.
How I see you.
That's not how I see you. And that brokenness created space for that, and it created space for her to receive that and to realize, Jesus in her he's bringing out that living water that's inside of her that he has gifted her.
Okay guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it, and more importantly, I hope you were blessed by it. If you're yet to follow this page or subscribe to this channel, kindly do so, and please do not forget to like, comment, and share this podcast with your friends and family. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you look forward to the next episode. Remain in God, and God bless you. Bye bye.